In an age of titans, when Rome's shadow stretched across the world, a queen arose from the sands of Egypt, a woman whose name would echo through eternity, Cleopatra. Her story is not just a tale of power, but of a fierce intellect, a captivating spirit, and an unbreakable will to preserve her kingdom against the mightiest empire on earth. Born in the year 69 B.C. into the Ptolemaic dynasty, Cleopatra was a descendant of Ptolemy I, a general of Alexander the Great. But unlike her predecessors who clung to their Greek heritage, Cleopatra embraced Egypt. She was the first of her line to master the ancient Egyptian language, to understand its customs, and to present herself not as a foreign ruler, but as the reincarnation of the goddess Isis. From a young age, she was educated in politics, philosophy, and rhetoric, wielding words as sharply as any soldier wielded a sword. Her mind was her greatest weapon, her charm its perfect sheath. Her reign began in turmoil. At 18, she ascended the throne alongside her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII, to whom she was married according to tradition. But the court was a viper's nest of intrigue. Ambitious advisers manipulated her young brother, turning him against her and driving her from her own capital, Alexandria. Exiled, but never defeated, Cleopatra raised an army, ready to fight for her birthright. It was at this critical moment that the most powerful man in the world sailed into Egypt, Julius Caesar. Rome was embroiled in its own civil war, and Caesar had pursued his rival, Pompey, to Egypt's shores. Seeing her chance, Cleopatra knew she had to reach Caesar before her enemies did. The story of her arrival is legendary. Smuggled past her brother's guards, rolled into a carpet, she was unfurled at Caesar's feet, a dramatic entrance that was pure political genius. Caesar, a man of immense ambition and intellect, was instantly captivated. He saw in her not just a beautiful woman, but a mind that matched his own. Their alliance was forged in both strategy and passion. With Caesar's military might, Cleopatra reclaimed her throne. Their union was more than a political convenience. It produced a son named Caesarion, whom Cleopatra declared the rightful heir to both Egypt and Rome. For a fleeting moment, a new world order seemed possible, a grand empire blending the cultures of East and West, ruled from Alexandria. But this dream was shattered on the Ides of March, when daggers and a Roman Senate struck down Caesar, leaving Cleopatra and her kingdom dangerously exposed. Rome was once again plunged into chaos. From the ashes of civil war rose two new powers, Caesar's adopted son, the cool and calculating Octavian, and his brilliant general Mark Antony. Cleopatra knew she had to secure a new alliance. She summoned Antony to Tarsus, and this time her entrance was even more spectacular. She sailed up the river Kidnus on a magnificent barge with silver oars and purple sails, appearing as the goddess Venus herself. Antony, a man of legendary appetites and grand passions, was utterly enthralled. Their love story became the stuff of legend. For nearly a decade, they ruled the eastern Mediterranean together. They were a power couple on an epic scale, holding lavish festivals and dreaming of an Eastern empire to rival Rome. They had 3 children together, and Antony declared Cleopatra the Queen of Kings, gifting her and their children vast territories. But this grand vision was a direct challenge to Octavian and Rome. Thus, using masterful propaganda, Octavian painted Cleopatra as a foreign temptress who had bewitched a noble Roman general. He convinced the Senate that she was a threat to Roman values and declared war not on Antony, but on her. The final confrontation came at the naval battle of Actium in 31 BC. It was a disaster. Antony and Cleopatra's fleet was outmaneuvered and defeated. They fled back to Egypt, their dreams and their empire crumbling around them. Octavian's legions pursued them to the gates of Alexandria. The end was near. As Roman forces stormed the city, Antony received a false report that Cleopatra was dead. Devastated, he fell on his sword. In his dying moments he was carried to Cleopatra's mausoleum, where she had barricaded herself, and he died in her arms. Left alone to face Octavian, Cleopatra knew her fate. The pragmatic Roman leader wanted to parade her through the streets of Rome in chains, a living trophy of his victory. But Cleopatra would not be humiliated. She was a queen, a goddess, the last Pharaoh of Egypt, and she would die as one. In her final defiant act, she adorned herself in her royal regalia. According to legend, a farmer delivered a basket of figs to her, concealing a venomous asp within. She chose a death befitting an Egyptian monarch, a quick and divine end. When Octavian's men broke down the doors, they found her lifeless on her golden couch, her handmaidens dying at her side. She was just 39 years old. With her death, the age of the Pharaohs ended. Egypt became a province of Rome, and her children's fates were sealed by the new emperor. Octavian, now Augustus, erased her from official records, but he could not erase her from history. Cleopatra's story endures not just as a tragedy, but as a testament to a brilliant and resilient leader who dared to challenge the greatest power of her time. She was a scholar who spoke 9 languages, a strategist who commanded armies, and a diplomat who charmed the most powerful men on earth. For over 20 years she navigated a treacherous world and kept her kingdom independent. She was the last queen of the Nile, a legend whose power, intelligence, and spirit continue to fascinate us. An immortal icon forged in the fires of ambition and love. Her name is forever etched in the sands of time, Cleopatra. Thank you for watching. If you were captivated by the story of this legendary queen, if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe for more awesome history stories.